Hello, this is Lucas. Welcome back to another Java tutorial. Today we are going to be going over the for each loop. Now, the for each loop is very similar to the for loop that we learned a couple of videos back, but just requires less conditions to use it. So let's start. So when I create an array, and we're just going to loop through this array. So that's it. I have an array of ages. So I'm starting an array, and it's going to be filled with the ages of people. So let's add in a few. Let's add in 5, 17, 52, 88, 31, 27, and then let's just add in 20. Sure. So let's say we want to loop through all of these. We could use the for loop that we learned, but let's say we want to loop through all of these, because with the normal for loop we can set conditions, so we only want to loop, like the first 3 or the last 4, or we can even use that for loop to loop all of them. There is a simpler way that we can loop through every single element in the array, and that's if we use the for each loop. So we create a for loop like normal. It's like for brackets, and then we open and close it. So once again, this is the condition, and then this is the code that's going to be executed in the loop. But in here, it's going to be a bit different. Firstly, we'll create a variable. We'll name let's just do I. But then we're going to do colon, and then in here we are going to pass in the name of our array. So we're going to do ages. Now, what's going to happen here is this for loop is going to loop through this array here, so ages. So it's going to loop through all of these, and we're going to store each index as I. So, for example, the first iteration, I is going to be stored as the very first index of ages, so it's 5. So in the first iteration, I is 5. Then in the second iteration, I is going to equal to 17. And then so on, it's going to equal to 52, and then 88, and so on. So this is going to loop through all of the elements inside of this array. So we can easily test this out by just printing I. And then if you run this, you can see we get every single element that's in the array. So this just helps us simplify the for loop. If we want to loop everything that is inside of the array, we could use the for, like the normal for loop, not the for each loop. If we want to specify some conditions, let's say we only want to loop through the first 4, or we only want to loop through, let's say, the second, third, and the fourth one. But if we want to loop through everything inside of this array, inside of the ages array, we can just use the for each loop. It just simplifies everything. And that's basically it for the for each loop. It's as simple as that. There's not much to it. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.